Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. In today's video, we are going to be doing a declutter. So I'm going to be decluttering my eyeshadow palettes, which I did this about 5-6 months ago, and my collection is already too much. So I think I have around 135 eyeshadow palettes, and my goal is to get down under 100. So this isn't going to be like a cutthroat declutter or anything like that, but it is time to do some spring cleaning. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. I do beauty and special effects related videos every single week on my channel. If you are into that kind of thing, then please subscribe. Also, head over to my TikTok and Instagram, which is both Jaxbeautifulyou, to check out looks I do over there as well. And if you are interested in seeing my eyeshadow palette collection and me decluttering some of those palettes, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, I'm starting out with my Juvia's Place collection, and just so everybody knows, I'm going to be giving away everything that I declutter to friends and family, but this is the Nubian 2 by Juvia's. I love Juvia's Place. Juvia's Place is a brand that really started introducing me to color and just really interesting color stories. Thinking outside the box, I've loved Juvia's Place for years now, and I still do. I think they're an amazing brand. I really, really love Juvia's Place shimmers. This palette is so beautiful, and it's one of my favorites. I really enjoy this Cleopatra shade and this Egypt shade. This purple, this really dark purple, I think it's called Lila. And yeah, this is just such a fun and beautiful palette. I love pulling this out like more in the winter and fall. I just think it's absolutely stunning. And the shimmers, like I said, the shimmers are just amazing. The mattes are really beautiful too, and I think they perform well, but I really think that Juvia's Place has just outstanding, spectacular shimmers. Next up, we have the violets. This is a beautiful purple palette, and it's more of like a cool tone palette. It's very like gray purple, bluish purple, instead of a warm toned purple like most palettes are. I think a lot of purple palettes pull more to the pink, and this pulls more cool grayish. And I really like it. It's super beautiful. The shimmers in here are fantastic. I love that they have a really light matte and a dark matte, and then these four shimmers are just breathtakingly gorgeous. Love this palette, definitely keeping it. Next I have the berries. Looks like this, very gorgeous. Love this one as well. I don't really care for the fact that these two mattes seem to look pretty close to each other. There's a little bit of a difference. This one is a lot deeper than this one, but honestly, once you put them on the eyes, they look a lot alike. I really do love this shimmer here though. It is like a red. It's a red, like metallic shimmer. Super beautiful. Love the eye look that I make with this, so I'm definitely keeping this one. This is the Sahara. Looks like this. Very beautiful for fall. I think this is a great fall time palette. I love the oranges in here, and this shimmer is just, look at that. It's so beautiful. I love that shimmer. And yeah, I really like this palette a lot. I like that they have a matte black in here, and it just makes for super beautiful fall looks, so I'm definitely keeping this one. Next up, we have the nudes. This is a very beautiful eyeshadow palette. I really do like it a lot, but I never reach for it. I think it's pretty light, and again, these two mattes in here look really similar. And I've noticed Juvia's Place kind of does that sometimes. They put two similar shades in. I know it looks different in the pan. You can see a slight difference, but really when you put these on the eyes, it's not that different. You really can't tell. That kind of does bother me a little bit, but this shimmer shade right here, this is so pretty. It's so soft and beautiful. Look at that. Just if you're in the mood for something really soft and light, this is a very beautiful palette. But like I said, I never reach for it, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. This is the Nubian Royal. This palette is one of my absolute favorites. I love the eye look that I make with this, and I always get compliments every single time I wear this palette. I love that they have a light matte, a medium, and then a dark purple matte. it really helps me to build the eye look. I like to have lots of mattes to like build the eye look and then put a couple of shimmers on the lid, which you have two beautiful and very distinctly different shimmers in this palette, which I really appreciate. This purple is gorgeous, and then there's a glitter in here. So not everybody feels the same about pressed glitter. For me, I love pressed glitter. I think it's beautiful. I wear glitter all the time. This is a really good formula, and it's just beautiful. It's very, as you can see, it's very smooth. It's not chunky at all. And it's just, look at that. It's so pretty. So pretty. Absolutely love it. Just really amps up the eye look. And like I said, I always get compliments whenever I wear this palette. Up next, we have the chocolates. This is a very beautiful palette as well, but we have that same situation where we have the two mattes that look exactly the same in the palette. Kind of annoying. I do really like this palette. These are not really the tones that I go for very often, but I love the look that you can make with it. I do love that there's a light one in here, a medium and a dark, and then the two shimmers in here. I think they're just very beautiful, but honestly, I just never reach for this. If I'm gonna do like a warm toned brown kind of look, I have other palettes that I will reach for over this one. It is very good quality though, but I do think someone else will enjoy this more than I do and get more use out of it, so I'm going to pass this one along. This is the Sweet Pinks. I absolutely love this eyeshadow palette. This is one of my favorites. It is just stunning, absolutely stunning. There's three mattes in here. You've got a light, a more medium, and then you have the darker, and then you have three distinctly different shimmers in here, which I really appreciate. It's super beautiful. This shade right here, this like hot pink shimmer shade, is one of my favorites. It's just so freaking gorgeous, and I would never get rid of this palette. It's just, I love it. If you like pink eyeshadow, I think you'd really like this palette. Up next, we have the Nubian Glow. It looks like this, very beautiful. I really love this one as well. The look that you can make with this, if you like more orange toned, warm tone eyeshadows, I think you'd really like this one. Again, the glitter in here is absolutely beautiful, and I think takes the look up to the next level. And yeah, I really love the shimmers in here. I think this is beautiful. I'm definitely keeping this one. This is the Nubian, and this is my very first Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette that I ever bought. It's a very warm toned, neutral eyeshadow palette. I think it's very beautiful, but again, I have a lot of warm tone neutral eyeshadows, and I just don't reach for this one. So I'm going to give it to somebody else who will love it more than I can, but I do think it's really good quality, and I do recommend if you like this color story. Next, we have the Festival. Looks like this. When I first got this palette, I wasn't sure about it. I didn't use it very often, but recently I have been really drawn to it. There's something about this color story that I just absolutely love. I think all the shadows in here perform really, really well. The orange and the red in here is just really beautiful, and this like white shimmer shade is gorgeous. I just really love this palette. This color story I find to be inspiring, and I'm definitely keeping this one. This is the Warrior 3. This is such a beautiful color story. I love this. I know it's kind of all over the place, and sometimes this one challenges me putting looks together. There's only two shimmers in here, but I really do like it. I feel like I have to use other palettes in order to use this one, but I do love this. And the mattes perform really, really well. They're super pigmented, and these two shimmers are exceptionally beautiful, so I am going to keep this one. This is the Deuce. Very beautiful color story. I absolutely love this shimmer right here. And again, I love this color story. I think it's super beautiful. Definitely one of my favorites. And yeah, I like it a lot. I'm going to keep this one. This is the Magic Mini. I love this eyeshadow palette. I will never get rid of it. I think it's super beautiful. I love everything about it. The mattes perform really well. The shimmers are super beautiful. Look at this. This one, look how intense that is. I mean, these are amazing. This is a matte shade right here, but look at how intense that matte shade is. I mean, just the pigmentation in these is so beautiful. This is such a gorgeous, like, light fairy tale looking purple. Love that one as well. This one right here is super, just look at how pigmented these are. They're just really beautiful. Out of this world spectacular, and I think that this is a fun color story, so I'm definitely going to keep this one. This is the Zulu. I think this is one of my favorite Juvia's Place palettes because of this green shimmer right here. It's like a lime green shimmer, and it is to die for. Look at that. Look at how gorgeous that is. I love this all over my lid. I love this entire color story. I think it is so much fun, and yeah, I'm definitely keeping this one. Okay, as you can see, this palette is very used and abused. It's very dirty. This palette is so beat up because I've used it so much, and I absolutely love it. I just think this is such a fun, grungy green type of palette. This lime green shade right here is gorgeous. I really love this shade. The shimmers in here are out of this world. This one right here is so beautiful if you're doing like a dark, smoky kind of green look. It's just so much fun, and this is one of my favorites, so I would never get rid of this one. This is the Wahala. Wahala translates to dramatic, and I think that's a pretty good description of this palette. It does seem to be very dramatic. It's very bold, very bright. If you're into color, I think you'd really love this. It's just like all the other palettes, great quality. Shimmers are out of this world beautiful. This one up here is a duochrome, which they didn't advertise it as a duochrome, but it is. And I don't know why they didn't capitalize on that. But they did add some glitters in here, so that can be a pro or a con depending on how you feel about glitter. I personally like glitter, but I really, really love this palette. It's a lot of fun. So if you like color, I do recommend it. And then this is the Masquerade Mini. I think this is such a beautiful color story. I like that there's neutrals in here and then there's color, so you can kind of do a neutral look with a pop of color. You can do all color, you can do all neutral, whatever you're in the mood for. This is a great palette, and my favorite shade in here is this purple one right here. I think this is one of the most beautiful colors on the planet. This is one of my favorite purples ever. And yeah, just this color in general. But yeah, look at how just royal and vibrant and purple and just beautiful that shade is. Love that color so much. So I'm definitely keeping this palette. Next up, we're going to go through my ColourPop collection. This is Just My Luck. This is one of their 9-panned monochromatic eyeshadow palettes. It looks like this. It is really pretty. I really love green eyeshadows, and I do not know why I never reach for this palette, but I just don't. So I think it's good quality. If you like these colors, I think that you would like this palette, but for some reason I just don't reach for these tones of greens very often, and because of that I'm going to pass it along to somebody else. This is The Child. It is the Star Wars collaboration with the show The Mandalorian. And then it looks like this. It is very beautiful. I really love this color story. I think this is a lot of fun, and I think everything performs really well. I think some of these mattes you have to build up a little bit, but I think it's a good palette overall, so I'm going to keep it. This is Wild Child. I think this is a very beautiful palette, and I found the quality to be really, really good. I really enjoyed it a lot. I just don't reach for these tones very often, and I really just don't need another warm toned neutral palette. So because of that, I'm going to pass it along to someone who can give it a little bit more love. This is Main Squeeze. I think this is beautiful. I do like it, but I never reach for it. And because of that, I'm going to pass it along. These red tones, I love red eyeshadow, but for some reason, the tones in this particular palette, I don't know, they kind of make me look like I have pink eye a little bit. So I'm going to pass this along. This is the Misunderstood palette, and this is with the Disney Villains collaboration with ColourPop. I really, really love this palette. I think the shimmers in here are just spectacular, and I love Disney Villains, so I'm not getting rid of this one probably ever. I really love it. I think that this is one of ColourPop's better quality palettes. I like ColourPop as a brand, but sometimes they're a little hit and miss for me, but this palette is just phenomenal. I really love it. This is the It's a Princess thing, and I love the packaging of this. I really love Disney princesses, and I just think this is so beautiful. I like that they put all the Disney signatures, if you will, up on the top. I think that's really, really cute. And I do really like this palette. I love the silver in here. I don't reach for this a ton, but because of the packaging and how much I love Disney princesses, I'm probably never going to get rid of it. This is the Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters palette that came out last year. It was, I believe, limited edition, and I don't think you can get your hands on it anymore. I really love that they have the sisters up on the front here. I think the packaging is really, really cute. I also love the names of these shadows, like Dead Man's Toes. I think that's super cute, and I really appreciate that aspect of the palette. However, the color story I found to be a little lackluster for me. I think it's a good palette and I like it. I'm going to keep it because I am a huge Hocus Pocus fan. But yeah, I was a little bit let down with this palette. I just wish it was a little bit more exciting as far as color story is concerned. But overall, I do like it, so I'm going to keep it. This is the Menage a Moi palette. I just recently got this one. I like it. I think it's nice. I think it's very beautiful. I got it because the color story is just out of this world gorgeous in my opinion. I just didn't think that the quality of this palette was super, super great. It wasn't terrible, but I just found it to be okay. I wasn't blown away by it, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pass this one along. This is the Sweet Talk palette. This is one of my all-time favorite spring palettes ever. I love this one so much. I really love these like corally pink shades, and I just think this makes a perfect springtime look, and this shade right up here especially is just gorgeous all over the lid. Really love this palette. I'm definitely going to keep it. This is the Disney Mulan palette. Packaging is a 10 out of 10. I am a huge Mulan fan. I haven't seen the live action movie, but I have watched the cartoon quite a bit, and I really love that movie. I think that the palette is beautiful. I really do think that this is one of the better quality palettes of ColourPop. I think everything performs in here really well. I wasn't super blown away by the color story. Kind of wish that there was a little bit more exciting colors in here, but I do really like it, and I'm going to keep it. This is probably my favorite ColourPop palette I have in my collection. This is the Flutterby. I love the packaging of this, the butterfly on here, or the butterflies, I should say. Super beautiful. The color story of this is just out of this world gorgeous. I love these types of tones. These purpley tones are just right up my alley, and I feel like these kind of colors look most flattering on my skin tone and with my brown eyes, and I really, really just love it. I think that this is such a good palette. Quality is spectacular. Just everything about this palette is really good, and I am definitely keeping this one. This is the All That palette that came out, I believe, last year for Valentine's Day. I think this is a beautiful palette. I think the quality of this palette is really great. I just never reach for it though, and it's just sitting there, and I'm not using it. I think that this would be a great palette for somebody else to use and love on, so I'm going to pass it along. This is the Midnight Masquerade. This is another palette in the Disney Designer Collection. Again, the Disney princesses in here in their ball gowns. I love that so much. I really like this palette too. I think the color story is really, really pretty. And I do love the shimmers in here, especially this one right here. This Frog and Wife is just spectacular. But yeah, I'm definitely keeping this one. This is the Bare Necessities palette. This is such a beautiful palette in my opinion. I love this palette. I think it's really, really good quality. I use this palette for bridal makeup whenever I do makeup for weddings, and I think it's perfect for that. I just love these warm tone neutral colors in here, and I just think that they perform really, really well. There's so many options in here. You can just do a lot with this palette, and I'm not that big into neutral eyeshadow, but when it comes to like brides and bridal makeup, this is definitely my go-to palette for that. The shimmers in here are beautiful, especially this one. I really love this shimmer. But yeah, if you like neutral eyeshadow or you're looking for an affordable palette to use like if you're getting married or, you know, you're going to be a bridesmaid or something like that, I highly recommend this one. This is the So Jaded palette. This is a collaboration with Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. I love this palette. I really like big eyeshadow palettes. I'm a big fan of that. I know the popular thing is to like small eyeshadow palettes, but for me, I like big eyeshadow palettes that gives me a lot of options, and the colors in here are phenomenal. I think the mattes are great, the shimmers are great, there's a couple glitters if you're into that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this palette. I think there's just so much you can do with this. If you don't have a big eyeshadow palette collection, I think this is a great palette to get because you can pretty much do, I mean, there's just a lot you can do with it. One palette, you can get so many different looks. This is the Lilac You a Lot. This is probably one of my favorite purple palettes I have in my collection. I think it's gorgeous in the springtime. This middle shade right here, this purple shimmer is beautiful. It's very soft and lilac and just beautiful. I love that color, but yeah, I really enjoy this palette, so I'm keeping this one. This is It's My Pleasure. This is another purple palette. I think this kind of leans on the more pinky side. It's like a purple pink palette, which is fine with me. I like that too. I think it's super, super beautiful. I really love the shimmer down here in the corner, and I think it's a really good quality palette from ColourPop. So I'm definitely keeping it. This is Blowin' Smoke. This is a fantastic smoky eyeshadow palette. If you want to do like a smoky eye, anything like that, this is wonderful. I love this. I love this shimmer in the middle. This silver shade right here is really intense and metallic. Very beautiful. I really, really enjoy this palette a lot. My husband is a die-hard Raiders fan, and their colors are silver and black. So during football season, I wear this palette a lot. This is the Baroque palette. I find this palette to be incredibly unique and just beautiful. I really love these like cool tones, grayish, almost like purpley colors in here, and this shade in the middle is a multi-chrome. It shifts from like a, do you see how it turned to like a purple? And then it shifts into like more of a silver gray type of look. I mean, it is so beautiful. I really was surprised by that. I wasn't expecting that. And I love this palette. I think it makes such a beautiful eye look if you're into those like smoky, grayish, purpley tones. Definitely keeping this one. This one is the Boudoir Noir palette, and I got this one with the Menage a Moi. They were together for holiday 2020, I believe. It's very beautiful. I really like this color story a lot, but I did find the quality not to be as good as what ColourPop usually does, and for that reason, I'm going to pass it along. This is the Orangey Glad. If you like orange eyeshadow, I think you'd really like this palette. The quality is really, really good. I think this one is so much fun. I have a blast playing with this palette, especially in the summertime. It has a glitter in it, so if you don't like that, that might be a con. This shimmer right here is gorgeous all over the lid, but yeah, I really enjoyed this palette, so I'm keeping it. This is the Honey. This is a gorgeous palette. I really love this. I really wasn't into yellow eyeshadow at all until I got this palette, and I really like it. I think it's a ton of fun. I just love yellow eyeshadow now, and I just didn't think I would, but I think that this is the palette that got me into it. I think that this bright yellow right here is a lot of fun. You can kind of tone it down though. It has some brown in here if you want to, you know, not make it quite so bright. And then I really love this glitter in the middle. Definitely keeping this one. This is Blue Moon. And this is one of my favorite blue eyeshadow palettes in my collection. I love this palette. I think this is so well done, and the quality is really, really good. The shimmers in here are beautiful. This shimmer in the middle is absolutely gorgeous. I really love this shimmer as well. And then this one has like a blue shift in it as well. Love this palette so much. If you like blue eyeshadow, there's just so many different tones of blues in here, and I just think you can do a lot with it. So yeah, if you like blue eyeshadow, I highly recommend this one. This is the Wine and Only. I am very surprised at how much I love this palette. I'm definitely keeping this one. I have a blast when I play with this palette. I love the shimmer in the middle. It pulls really red, and I don't know, I just love it. I have a lot of fun when I play with it. I love red wine. I love these reddy purpley kind of tones, and yeah, I think it's a blast. Great quality. I'm gonna keep it. Okay, this is from Frozen 2. This is Anna's entire collection. So it comes with the eyeshadow palette, a lip gloss, a lipstick, and a glitter. I'll just show you the eyeshadow palette. I think the eyeshadow palette is really, really pretty. I love this one, especially in the fall, so I am definitely going to keep this. Plus, I really like Frozen. And then, of course, I have Elsa as well. Again, it comes with the lipstick, gloss, and glitter. The eyeshadow palette is really beautiful. I love the color story of this. I think I prefer this color story over the Anna one. I know some people said that they didn't like the quality of this palette. They had some trouble with a couple of the shadows, but I have never had any problems with mine. I think it's good quality, so I'm definitely keeping this one. I love playing with this palette in the winter. All right, next up we're going to talk about my Kaleidos collection. I have the Club Nebula palette. This is in collaboration with Angelica Nyqvist. I have talked about this palette so many times on my channel already. I think everybody knows how I feel about it if you watch any of my videos. I love this palette with my whole heart, and there's no way I'd ever declutter it. I think it is spectacular. The shimmers in here will blow your mind. The mattes are pigmented, they blend like a dream. I am so glad I have this palette. I think it is just so well done, absolute perfection. I would never get rid of it, definitely keeping it. This is the Escape Pod by Kaleidos. I really, really love this eyeshadow palette. I think that it is beautiful for the springtime. This palette reminds me of Easter, and I just think it's a lot of fun. Again, same thing, mattes are great, shimmers are mind-blowing. The only thing I find quite annoying are the two green shimmers in here that look almost identical on the eyes. I don't know why they did that. But other than that, this is a really great palette, and I highly recommend it. This is the Kaleidos VR Neon. I think this is such a beautiful eyeshadow palette. It's very bold and bright and colorful, and this shade right here is beautiful. It is such a gorgeous hot pink shade. I think that this palette has been discontinued, but I'm going to keep it. I really love this palette. I think it's super beautiful. This is Sashimi City. This is a pretty neutral palette for Kaleidos. Normally they're pretty colorful, but I think they wanted to do more of like a neutral eyeshadow palette, and I think this is very pretty. I like it. I'm going to keep it because the shimmers in here are really pretty. I don't reach for it a ton though, but I do really like it. So if you like more neutral eyeshadow looks, then you might like this palette. This is Lunar Lavender. I like this eyeshadow palette. I think it's pretty. I'm going to keep it, but I honestly thought I was going to love this a lot more than I do. I don't know what it is about it, but I don't like it as much as I thought I was going to. I think it's because of this shimmer. I was expecting it to be a little, it's really, really pretty, don't get me wrong. I just thought it was going to be something else, but it is really nice. So I'm not really complaining about it. I mean, look at that. That's gorgeous. I don't know. I like this palette, but I don't love it like I thought I was gonna. But I'm going to keep it because I do think it's nice. This is Sci-Fi Green. This is one of my favorite palettes from Kaleidos. This grungy green color story is just fantastic. I really, really love this palette in the fall. I think that this is just such a cool color story, and I think this is one of the most exceptional quality palettes from Kaleidos. They're all really, really good, but this one just seems to be on another level. This matte black is perfection, and I really love these two shimmers. So this color story is just wonderful, and I would never get rid of this palette. This is Cyber Bronze, and it looks like this. I really like this palette as well. I think this is another one of the palettes that I think is on another level as far as quality is concerned. I really love this red shimmer in here. That is super pretty, and then this silver shimmer is really metallic. I mean, these are just phenomenal shimmers, and the mattes are really good too. I do really like this palette, so I'm going to keep it. This is Electro Turquoise, and I think this is gorgeous. I love this color story. I love blue and orange together. I really love that pop of orange in here, but my favorite thing about this palette is this shade right here. This shimmer, it reminds me of the ocean. Look how pretty that is. That is such a beautiful shade. I can't get over it. It's just gorgeous all over the lid. But yeah, I really, really love this palette, so I'm going to keep it. And this is Astro Pink. I love the color story of this. I think this is such a beautiful eye look, and I would never get rid of this palette. This shimmer shade right here is gorgeous, as you can see. That's the thing about Kaleidos. Their shimmers are just out of this world gorgeous. I think the mattes in here perform really, really well, and I think this is a gorgeous eye look. I have two eyeshadow palettes from Storybook Cosmetics, which I don't know where they went. I mean, does anybody know where Storybook Cosmetics went? Because I haven't seen anything from them recently. But this is the Fairy Tales. This is the Little Briar Rose. I got this in a BoxyCharm. And some people really don't like the packaging of this. It looks like a book. I think it's pretty cute. It is pretty bulky, but I like the idea behind it. I really like fairy tale type stuff. I think this palette is pretty. I really like the color story, but I just never use this palette and it's just sitting in my collection. So I think somebody else would enjoy this. I'm going to pass it along to somebody else. The other palette from Storybook Cosmetics is Wizardry and Witchcraft. I really love this palette. I love the look of it and the name. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and that's what this reminds me of. I really like the color story in here, and I think that this is a lot of fun. I don't reach for this one too often, but I'm not ready to get rid of it, mostly because of the Wizardry and Witchcraft Harry Potter vibes, but I'm going to make an effort to pull this out and play with it a little bit more. Okay, next up I'm going to go over a couple of random just palettes that I have that don't really belong in like a collection, that I don't have more than one of the brand, if that makes sense. The first one is by Marc Jacobs. This is the only Marc Jacobs palette that I own, and this was released for holiday 2020, and this is called the Terrific palette. Looks like this. I was pretty disappointed in this palette, to be honest. I really don't like it. I think that this shade right here is the shade that I was the most excited for, and it is a dud. I mean, look at that. I am really pressing hard, and that's all that comes from that. That's it. That is so lackluster to me, and I don't know. This was a $50 palette, and for 50 bucks, I expect all of these shades to perform really, really well, and this is just, I don't know what that is. But it's definitely not worth 50 bucks in my opinion, and I do not like this palette, do not recommend it, and I'm going to pass it along. This is by Pure, and this is the Creator palette. I think this is a really good palette. The quality of these shadows is really good. It also comes with a highlighter and a bronzer, which I think are really good quality. I was surprised at how just amazing these shadows performed. I really, really like this palette a lot. I don't reach for it though, because I have these shades a million times over, but I do think someone else would enjoy this, so I'm going to pass it along. This is Vintage Rose by Gimme Glow. This is the only Gimme Glow palette I own, but I do want to get some more. I really love this palette. The quality of these shades is really, really good. These shimmers are gorgeous. The mattes are really good too. I really enjoy this palette a lot. Just everything about it, the vibe, the aesthetic, the color story, everything about this palette is super, super fun. And I want to try more from the brand. I have been impressed with this one, and I just think that there are other ones that I really am interested in. I think the Juicy Olive and the Christmas Morning palette look really good too. This I obviously got in a BoxyCharm. This is the Hello Charmer palette. This is actually a really nice palette. I enjoyed it a lot. The shimmers in here are really pretty, especially this one right here called Full Size is super gorgeous. And then this one is called Swipe Up, and that's a lot of fun. I kept this palette in my last declutter because of this shade right here, but I haven't used this palette since then, so I think somebody else would really enjoy this, and I'm going to pass it along. This is my Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals Volume 1 eyeshadow palette. It comes with this really big mirror. And I really love this eyeshadow palette. I think that this is a beautiful palette. Mostly I love it for the glitters. The top row up here is my favorite. I think these glitters are phenomenal. The formula of these is just wonderful. It's probably the best glitter formula that I've ever tried. And yeah, I really like this palette a lot. I don't think the metallics in here are as metallic as other brands. Like, they're not Juvia's Place metallics by any means, but they're still really good, and I do enjoy this palette, so I am going to keep it. This is my go-to eyeshadow palette for like New Year's Eve type of evenings, you know, that kind of vibe, like a party of some sort, like a fancy dressy party. I go for this palette for those types of occasions all the time. Well, not recently, since, you know, of everything that's been going on, but it's what I wore for New Year's Eve for 2021, actually. Even though I stayed home, I still dressed up. So, you know what I mean. It's just a good going out palette. This is by Dose of Colors. This is the Desi and Kitty Friendcation palette. I really love the packaging of this. This is a gorgeous palette. I think we've all seen this already. I think this is a pretty popular palette, and for good reason. Mattes are beautiful. Shimmers are gorgeous. Highly recommend this palette. I don't even know if it's available anymore, but it is a very beautiful palette, and I'm going to keep it. This is the Sweet Violets by Violet Voss. I love this color story. I'm not really sure why, but I don't seem to get along with Violet Voss's formula very well. I don't think there's anything really special about this palette. I do really like the color story, but I have a bunch of purples already, and I'm going to pass this one along. This is by Sephora. This is their clean line, and this palette is called Dragonfly. I got this sent to me in PR by Sephora, and I really don't care for this palette very much. I think that these are all shimmers and they're pretty lackluster. I just don't think that, I don't know. I don't care for it. I'm never going to reach for it. It's an $18 eyeshadow palette. And honestly, for $18, I just feel like you can get a lot more. BH Cosmetics, Juvia's Place, ColourPop has palettes for $18 that are way better than this. And yeah, it's an all shimmer palette. What am I supposed to do with that? But yeah, I'm going to pass this one along. This is by Milani. This is called the Gilded Coast. Looks like this. It's a very beautiful color story, but I don't know. I don't ever reach for it. I think it's okay. The quality is decent. It's not terrible, but it's not my favorite either. So I'm just going to pass this one along. And then this is by Tarte. This is the Tartiest Pro palette. I got this palette in a BoxyCharm, and I really like it. I think it's a really good quality palette. The mattes are really soft and buttery, and the shimmers are really pretty. You know, I have all these shades already, and I don't feel the need to keep this palette, but I think someone else would really, really like this, and I do think it's a really good quality palette, but I'm going to pass it along. Okay, up next we're going to talk about e.l.f. I have this Earth and Ocean palette by e.l.f. Looks like this. It is very beautiful. I really like the color story of this. I love how they have like the earthy tones over here and then the water or the ocean tones over here. I think it's a really good quality palette for the price. I just don't ever reach for it. I'm going to pass this along to somebody else who will give it a little bit more love. And then I did get all of these little mini ones, these quads, which I don't know why, because I'm not a quad person. I just feel like I have to reach into more eyeshadow palettes in order to make a complete look for most of these. This is the Hot Jalapeno. I'm going to pass this along. I'm going to pass all of these along, but I'll show them to you real quick. This one is the Carnival Candy. I think this one is called Truffles. This is Cream and Sugar. This one is really good quality. I think most of these are pretty decent quality. I just don't ever reach for them for some reason, but I don't think that they're bad by any means. I think they're good quality, and they're only $3, so definitely worth the price. This is, I think it's called Acai, and mine's broken as you can see. But this is a really pretty, like, cool tone purple palette. And then this one is called Rose Water. But yeah, I never reach for these ever since I got them. I got them when they first came out, and I think I tried them all one time to check the quality of them. And then after that, I just never picked them up again. So I need to pass them on to somebody else who's going to use them. Okay, next up I have a couple Profusion palettes. This one is the Spectrum. This one was $5 at Walmart, and I think that it's pretty decent. If you're looking for some colorful mattes, but you don't want to spend a ton of money, this is a good option. I keep this palette because I do a lot of special effects look, and this is a really great palette for that. So I'm going to keep this one. This is the Wanderlust palette. I've used this palette a bunch. I think this is great quality, especially for the price. I really like Profusion. I think that if you're someone who's kind of on a budget, but you want a lot of options, you want to play with some color, this is a fantastic brand to go with. And I do really like this palette, but I'm not using it a lot anymore, and I'm going to pass it along to somebody else. This is the Festival palette. This palette is the first palette I ever got from Profusion, and it kind of blew my mind because I was pretty impressed with the quality. I like this palette a lot. I feel like, you know, it's put in rows so that you can make eye looks pretty easily if you want to do like monochromatic looks. So I like the way that it's laid out. I think it's a really great palette. I don't use it quite as much anymore, but I do recommend it if you're interested in it. And yeah, I think it's good quality for the price, but I'm going to pass it along to somebody else. Okay, up next I'm going to talk about my Urban Decay collection. So this is the Naked Honey. Love the packaging of this. I really like this eyeshadow palette. This is one of Urban Decay's better quality palettes in my opinion. I think Urban Decay is one of those brands that's kind of hit and miss. I have some palettes that I truly love from them, and then I have some palettes that I'm like, what? What is this? But this one is a real hit for me. I truly love this. I love these golden warm tones in here, and yeah, I just really like this palette, so I'm going to keep it. This is the Naked Cherry. I find this palette to be a little bit lackluster, and this is one of those palettes that I was not impressed with at all with Urban Decay. I think the color story is really pretty, but it just fell a little flat for me. I do use this palette a little bit when I do special effects looks because a couple of these shades, you know, are pretty good for bruising. Other than that, though, I haven't used this palette at all, and I really don't need it for that. I have other shadows that I can use for bruising besides this one, so I think I'm going to pass this one along. I don't think it's terrible, and if you're somebody who really just wants like a toned down look, you're not into super pigmented shadows, this might be really good for you. But I am not that person. I am somebody who likes a lot of pigmentation, bold, colorful eyeshadow, and this is not it for me. So I'm going to pass this along. This is the Game of Thrones palette by Urban Decay. The packaging on this is humongous, as you can see. This is pretty big and bulky. And honestly, if you're not a Game of Thrones fan, I don't know if this would be something that you would want. I don't even know if this is available anymore anyway, but I love this eyeshadow palette. Okay, I love it. I am a huge Game of Thrones fan though, so that's one of the reasons. You open it up and it has the Iron Throne, which is pretty extra, so if you're not a fan, that's going to be kind of annoying. The actual eyeshadow palette itself is here, and it looks like this, and I love this palette. Even if it wasn't Game of Thrones, if this was just an eyeshadow palette without the bulky packaging, I would have loved this palette because the shimmers in here are just mind-blowingly good. I don't know why more people don't talk about, look at that. Why do more people not talk about this palette? I don't know, but the shimmers in here are so freaking pretty. It's so, I mean, these are, I love these. I love this palette. I think, I like how it's divided by house. Again, I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. I don't know, everything about this palette I really like. I think the mattes are really good, the shimmers are good. This is one of Urban Decay's best formulas in my opinion, and I would never get rid of this palette. I really, really love it. This is my Wild West palette. This is my newest eyeshadow palette from Urban Decay in my collection. I absolutely love the packaging. It reminds me of snakeskin. It's just so pretty. And I honestly was not impressed with this color story when I first saw it, but then it grew on me and I got really, really curious about it. I picked it up and I'm super glad that I did because I love this palette. I think the quality is really good and I have a lot of fun when I play with it. I just didn't expect to love it as much as I do, but I really, really enjoy this palette. I think the mattes in here, like these darker mattes, are really pigmented and beautiful. So I was really surprised by that, and that was a huge bonus for me. The shimmers in here are really pretty. This like turquoise, teal, whatever color you want to call it, shimmer is gorgeous. So yeah, I really like this palette and I'm super happy I bought it. And speaking of Urban Decay, I do have to mention the Prince palette. Have you guys seen that collaboration come out? I saw the promo pictures of it. I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed. I don't think I'll be picking that up. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments section below. This is the Moon Dust palette, and I really love this palette because the shimmers in here are really pretty. This is an all shimmer palette, so obviously this is a palette that I would have to use with other palettes, and I just don't think to do that for some reason. But I don't know if I can part with this because these shimmers in here are really, really pretty. I mean, I need to think to pull this out more. Look at that. As like a topper shade, or not even a topper, you know what I mean? Like for a shimmer shade on the lid. I just don't think, I don't know, for some reason I don't grab other palettes. I try to make one look out of the palette that I have, but these are really good, and yeah, I'm not ready to part with these. I just need to remind myself to pull this out and use it. Okay, I have two palettes from Huda Beauty. I have the Mercury Retrograde. This palette is gorgeous, as you can see. I mean, look at this thing. This is so beautiful. Love this palette. It's one of my favorite spring palettes. I love the shimmers in here. I love the mattes. I think this is such a well done palette, and it's just stunning. And there's so much you can do with it. Yeah, I really like it. I'm definitely keeping this one. The other one I own is the Rose Gold Remastered. I remember seeing this at Sephora when it first launched years ago, and I was just obsessed. I mean, I thought it was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. It is really pretty. I really, really love this palette. I think it served me well, as you can see with all the dips in it. I definitely loved on this palette quite a bit, but this palette is really old at this point and I just don't reach for it anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't even think I'm going to pass it along. I think I'm just going to probably throw it in the trash just because it's so old. But yeah, I did really like it. During its time, it was very, very well loved. All right, I have this one by Too Faced. This is called the Natural Matte palette. I think the packaging of this is super pretty. Look how elegant and just beautiful this packaging is. However, this is extremely neutral and all mattes, and I just don't ever use this palette, so I don't see myself using this palette. I think it smells really good. I think it's really good quality. These mattes are really great. So I know that I have other people, friends and some family members that I think would really like this. So I'll see out of them who would enjoy it. But yeah, I'm just not using it. But I do like it. I think it's a good palette. This is the Pumpkin Spice palette. This came out around the holiday season in 2020. I adore this palette. I think the quality is super good. I was shocked at how much I love it. This shade right here called Fall Vibes is stunning. Absolutely stunning. I was blown away by that shade. I think that the purples in here are gorgeous. I think that the oranges in here are good. I just really love this color story and I have a lot of fun when I use it. I think that the packaging on this is really, really cute. I just think this palette was really well done. I enjoy it a lot and I'm definitely going to keep it. My last Too Faced palette that I have is the Chocolate Gold. We all know about this one. This palette, this particular palette I have in my hands is not old. I know this is an older palette, but I actually bought this one not recently, actually, not too long ago. This is a pretty new palette and I really, really like it a lot. I think the shimmers in here are really beautiful and I was pretty surprised because when this palette came out, the bar wasn't set quite as high as it is today. And so for the shimmers to still, you know, hold their own, I think is pretty impressive. But yeah, I like this color story. I love the shimmers. I think the packaging is adorable. I like the way it smells. It brings me joy, so I'm keeping it. Okay, I have a few palettes from C Color Cosmetics. They're kind of like a dupe brand. They're a really affordable dupe brand. This one is called Fairy Tale, and I believe this is supposed to be a dupe for Too Faced Clover. I think it's good. I think the quality is really, really good. I'd never reach for this palette though, but I think that, you know, if you're looking for an affordable alternative, that this is a good one. So I'm going to pass this along to somebody else though. This is a dupe for the Urban Decay Born to Run. This is called Around the World. I think this is a fantastic dupe. I was really blown away at how good these shadows are. And yeah, I was impressed. But I never reach for this palette, so I'm going to pass it along. This one is called Blue Sky. This is a dupe for Jeffree Star's Blue Blood palette. I can't speak to Jeffree Star's palette because I don't own any of his eyeshadow palettes. I don't know anything about his formula. But I do know that this palette is exceptionally good, and I was blown away because this is such an affordable palette. I don't remember how much. It was like $10, something like that. But I am really impressed with this palette. I think this is fantastic. I think that they really just blew my mind with the shimmers. I mean, look at these. I'm blown away. The mattes are really good too and pigmented, as you can see. I mean, this is such a good palette. I'm definitely keeping this one. I enjoy this one quite a bit and am super impressed with this quality. And then this is my last one from C-Color. This is called Sundown. I believe this is supposed to be a dupe for Huda Beauty's Desert Dusk is what it's called, something like that. But I wasn't super impressed with this palette. I think that C-Color fell short on this, especially when it comes to this glitter. I don't know what this is, but nobody should be putting this on their eyes. It's like sandpaper. Look how patchy. It's so bad. So bad. It's very scratchy. It's terrible. Yeah, I don't care for this palette very much, and I'm probably just going to not even pass this on to somebody. I'm probably just going to throw it away because I think it's pretty bad. Okay, this is the only palette I have from Lunar Beauty. It's called Moonspell. I absolutely love the packaging of this. I think this is so cool, and I just love it. Again, kind of reminds me of Harry Potter. It's like a book that opens. And I really love this color story. This is beautiful. I love the purples in here. I love that there's some like blue greens in here. Yeah, I think this is fantastic. I'm super impressed with this palette. And it makes me really want to try more of Lunar Beauty. I haven't really bought any since this palette, but I need to. So I'm really interested in Lunar Beauty right now, and I'm going to be probably trying more of their palettes very, very soon. But this one, the packaging is what got me. This is awesome. I love it. Definitely going to keep it. Okay, up next I have some palettes by Alter Ego. This is the Temptress palette. This is also a dupe brand. This is supposed to be a dupe for the ABH Sultry palette. I missed out on the ABH Sultry palette for some reason. I don't know why. I just never bought it. And then it was too late because it wasn't available anymore. But this one's really good. I think the quality, actually, I think Alter Ego has an amazing formula. I think they do a really good job. They're probably the best like dupe brand that I've ever tried. This is such a good palette. I really like it, so I'm going to keep this one. This is the Goddess palette by Alter Ego. This is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Gold palette. I love the formula in here. I think this is probably Alter Ego's best palette I've ever tried. It's not Natasha Denona, okay? I own quite a few Natasha Denona palettes, and no, it's not the same, but it's pretty darn close. And it really satisfies my need for the gold palette. I didn't go out and buy the Natasha Denona Gold palette because I have this one, and I just don't feel the need to spend $130 on that palette when I have this one, you know what I mean? So I think this is a great alternative. I really enjoy this palette, definitely keeping it. Okay, excuse the way this palette looks. This is the Sahara palette, and this is supposed to be a dupe, I believe, for Natasha Denona's Biba. As you can see, I'm sorry how beat up this is. I use this bottom row all the time for special effects looks because I do a lot of shading in my special effects looks, so I'm constantly using these types of tones. This one's really good for bruising, stuff like that. So this is a special effects palette basically, but the quality of this is really, really good. So if you're looking for an alternative to the Biba palette, I think you'd really like this one. This is my Aurora palette. This is a dupe for Natasha Denona's Sunrise palette. Very beautiful, very good quality. No, it's not Natasha Denona, but it is pretty good. I don't have the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, but this color story, I don't know. I just never reach for this. Very good quality, but I just don't reach for it. So I'm going to pass it to someone else that might love it more than I do. I also have this one by Alter Ego. This is the Daydream palette. This is a dupe for Huda Beauty's New Nudes, I believe. Very beautiful, good quality. Don't quite care for the concealer up here, but I think it's a good quality palette. I never, ever, ever reach for this though, so I'm going to pass this along. Okay, I have this glitter quad here from Pixie. This is the Gold Lava. I really love Pixie's glitter formula. I think it's really, really good. Definitely keeping this one. And then I also have this one as well, and it's called the Rose Bronze. Very beautiful. Again, I really love glitter, and I think this is a great formula, so keeping this one. I'm not really the biggest Makeup Revolution person ever. I think their eyeshadow palettes are really hit and miss, and typically I don't find their formula to be really great, but I had to get this one because this is the Nightmare Before Christmas. This is Jaxbeautifulyou, and I just thought the packaging was adorable. I was pleasantly surprised at how good this palette is. You have a really colorful side here, and then you have like a more neutral side here. I love that you have Jaxbeautifulyou's face like embedded in some of the shadows. Huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan. But yeah, that's why I bought this, is strictly because of that. But I do really like this palette. I think it's a really good palette, to be honest. The shades are nice and pigmented, as you can see. I mean, that's a shimmer shade. Look at that. I was kind of blown away. Look at, they're pretty darn good. I'm not gonna lie. The mattes are decent as well. Yeah, I have no real complaints about it. I love it. I think it's a great palette. And then I also got the Sally one as well. Looks like this. I think I prefer the Jack a little bit more, but I do really like this one too. So again, it has more of like neutral over here, some more pops of color on this side, but I think it's a lot of fun. And so yeah, I really like it. I think it's good quality. So I'm definitely keeping these because I really love Nightmare Before Christmas. I think I've mentioned that already. Okay, I have a couple of Morphe palettes. Morphe's not a brand that I typically gravitate towards either, but this palette right here by Jaclyn Hill, this is the Volume 2 palette, really did catch my eye. I do not own and never have owned Volume 1, which I'm probably the only person in the world that did not get that palette, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know why I didn't get it. I just wasn't really into it for some reason. But this one I am very into. I really like this palette a lot. Now I will say I'm not impressed with the shimmers at all. The shimmers are just mediocre in my opinion, but the mattes in here are very vibrant and very beautiful. This matte orange right here is super vibrant on the eyes and it blends out really well. The reds, the purples. This is just a beautiful palette. I really have a lot of fun with it. I enjoy it, so I'm going to keep it. And then this one as well, this is the 35C Everyday Chic. I don't like the packaging on here, but you get what you pay for, you know what I mean? Like this isn't an expensive palette, so they're not gonna go all out on the packaging. But I will say this palette, I don't know why I'm so drawn to it, but I rushed out and bought it. I saw a review. I believe it was Brianna Faye was doing a review of this palette. She was doing this gorgeous eye look. And when I saw it, like I literally paused the video, drove to Ulta and bought this palette. And I have no regrets because I really like it. It kind of reminds me of like a winter wonderland, winter icy, Ice Queen kind of vibes. I really like it. I think it's just a beautiful color story. I think the quality is pretty decent. It's not like, you know, Natasha Denona or Pat McGrath or anything like that, but it is still really good. Very affordable. I do recommend this palette. I know Morphe's really hit and miss. This one's really good though. And then this one is the other Morphe palette I have. This is the collaboration with Maddie Ziegler. This is the Imagination palette. It's really pretty. It reminds me of springtime, reminds me of like Easter, and I think it's a good palette. I just used it recently and I liked it. I thought it was decent quality. I just don't think I will probably play with this one too much. I have all these kind of colors and tones and other palettes that I prefer a little bit more than this one, but I do like it. I think it's a good palette. I am just going to pass this along. I know my daughter really wants this palette, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass it along to her. Okay, up next we have BH Cosmetics, which I did just recently order the Say It collection. I ordered all the palettes in that. For some reason, they really drew me in. So I will be doing reviews on those palettes as soon as I get them in the mail. But this is my first BH Cosmetics palette that I ever tried. This is the Take Me to Ibiza. And I found it to be okay. I didn't find it to be spectacular by any means. I just thought it was decent, very affordable. And yeah, I liked it, but I never used this palette. I'm going to go ahead and pass this one along. But then I tried the Blueberry Muffin palette by BH Cosmetics, and I had to ask myself what happened, because this palette blew my mind, and BH Cosmetics did something to their formula that just really took it up to another level, in my opinion. This palette is so gorgeous. I love this palette so much. It made it up pretty high in my rankings for best palettes of 2020, and I enjoy it. I think it's spectacular. I love this formula. BH Cosmetics is killing it, in my opinion. That's why I was really interested in trying out their Say It collection. And yeah, I have no regrets. Highly recommend. This palette is $18, and it performs like a high-end palette, in my opinion. So yeah, totally in love with this palette. Definitely keeping this one. And then this is the Naughty palette that they released for holiday 2020. It's a very big palette, but I really like big palettes, and I love this one. I think the quality is spectacular. I think everything performs really, really well. Again, I feel like it's a high-end quality type of situation. The glitter that's in here, there's a glitter here and a glitter here. Fantastic glitters, fantastic shimmers. Mattes are great. I can't recommend this enough. Very affordable. Look at all the shadow you get. I don't know how much this is. I don't even know if you can get this anymore, honestly, but if you are lucky enough to get your hands on it, I mean, it's a steal for as much shadow as you're getting and the quality that you're getting. Yeah, BH Cosmetics has really just been impressing me lately, so I definitely am going to keep this palette. And then I have one palette by Glamlight. This is the cake palette. It comes in this like easy bake looking type of oven, and then you open it up and inside is the cake. I am a cake fiend. I love cake. It's my favorite dessert ever. Just love all different types of cake. And I really, really, really love this palette. I think this is such a beautiful rainbow palette. I think the shimmers in here are gorgeous. The mattes are beautiful, very pigmented, blends out really, really easily. It's my only Glamlight palette that I own, but I do want to try more from the brand because I really am impressed with this one. And yeah, I use this a lot in the summertime. I think this is a beautiful summer palette. I use it for like in June, because June is Pride Month. And so when I do like Pride Month looks, I love using this palette for that. I think it does a really good job at making like rainbow type looks. And yeah, highly recommend if you are into color. Okay, we're going to get into my Natasha Denona collection. This is the Love palette, and it looks like this. I think it's really, really beautiful. I love the color story. I love pinks and purples. I think I did get the bad batch code though. There was one batch that I think wasn't as good as all the others, and I think I got that one. This one is a little harder to work with than most Natasha Denona palettes that I own, but I still really like it and I can make it work, so I'm going to keep this one. This is the Circle Loco palette. I love this palette so much. This is one of my favorites, probably my favorite Natasha Denona palette that I own. It's so much fun in my opinion. I knew the second that I saw the promo pictures that I was going to love it. I know this was kind of a polarizing palette. Some people really were excited about it and some people were like, nope, that's not for me, which is understandable. If you're not into color, what is this going to do for you, you know? But I love color, and so yeah, this is just gorgeous. I think this performs really well. I have no regrets. The only thing I will say is this orange shimmer shade is not as vibrant as it looks in the pan, and you have to build it up. But other than that, everything else is fantastic. Highly recommend if you're into color and if you're into Natasha Denona. This is such a good palette. Tons and tons of fun. The name means Crazy Circus, and I kind of feel like that's pretty accurate. The way that this is laid out is a little crazy, and I actually really like that. I find it inspiring and fun and challenging, but it's not for everybody, you know what I mean? But for me, I really like it, so I'm going to keep it. This is the Glam palette. This is her cool toned neutral palette. I really like this one. I really like cool tones, and I think this is a lot of fun. Fantastic quality. If you're into cool tone neutral shadows, I think you'd really, really like this. This is her $65 palette, so it's a little bit more, you know, affordable, if you can even call that affordable, but you know, compared to her, you know, $130 palettes or even her 200 and something palettes that she has out there, this is pretty affordable. So I like it a lot. I think it's a great palette, great quality. I don't use it a ton just because I'm not the biggest neutral person, but this definitely takes care of any like neutral cool tone needs that I have. This is because I own this palette. I did pass up on Melt's Mary Jane palette. I just didn't feel like I needed both. But yeah, I think this palette is really good and recommend if you like cool tone neutrals. And I also have her bronze palette. Looks like this very warm toned neutral palette. I really love these warm tones. I will say that I feel like there are quite a few shades in here that are pretty similar to each other, and I find that quite annoying. I did rank this a little lower in my ranking for 2020 just because even though the quality is fantastic, there is no need for this many shades to be so similar to each other in a palette. You know what I mean? Just, there's no need for that. But I do like it. I think it's a good palette. I'm going to keep it. This is also one of the reasons why I didn't buy the new palette from Natasha Denona. I think it was called the Zendo palette. I didn't buy that one because half the palette looked like the bronze palette to me with just some like pops of like green or blue. And I don't know, I felt like I didn't need that palette. I felt like I already owned it. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you guys got the Zendo palette and what you think of it. I heard the quality is pretty good, but I just didn't feel like I needed it. But this palette is good, so I'm going to keep this one. And this is the palette that started my Natasha Denona love affair. I've had some requests to do a Natasha Denona ranking video, but I decided not to just because I don't own a lot. Like I do own a lot of her palettes, but they're all recent palettes. You know what I mean? I don't own any of her like much older ones like the Biba or the Sunrise or the Sunset or the Gold. I don't have those palettes, and I feel like, I don't know, a ranking video with the palettes that I have wouldn't be enough. So anyway, this is the Metropolis palette, and this is my favorite eyeshadow palette in my entire collection. The textures in here are so beautiful and just so much fun to work with. This is a pretty neutral palette, and so I'm kind of surprised that I love this palette as much as I do, but there's enough pops of color in here that makes it really, really interesting. And you kind of get like gold vibes over here, like her, you know, gold palette vibes over here, and then you get some bronze palette vibes in some of it. I feel like the Zendo palette had a lot of these same shades as well. You got your pop of blue here, you've got like this really pretty teal color, you've got this really fun green. Her cream to matte or cream to powder, whatever you want to call it, formula is just so much fun in my opinion, and I really enjoy that formula. I know that not everybody feels that way. Some people don't like that formula, but for me, I think it's so easy to blend out, so easy to make eye looks with, and it takes no time whatsoever to blend. So I really, really like that. Love this palette. Highly recommend if you're new to Natasha Denona and you want to get like the most bang for your buck. This is $130, but I feel like you get a lot of shadow in here. You get a lot of different textures. You just get a lot of different things. You get some really good shimmers, a couple pops of color. Highly recommend this palette. It is my favorite. I feel like the Triochrome palette was pretty polarizing as well. I know a lot of people did not like that there were only 3 multichromes in here, and these multichromes are not like indie brand level multichromes. You know what I mean? But I love this palette. I think the mattes in here are phenomenal. I love these colors. Green and purple eyeshadows are my favorite. So when this palette came out, I was so excited. I mean, I was just over the moon excited for this palette because I felt like Natasha Denona made a palette just for me. But I get what people are saying. Like, this shade right here is super beautiful. I mean, look at that. And it does shift. It's more of just a duochrome though. It shifts from like an orangish color to like a green, if you can kind of see that. But I wouldn't call it a multi-chrome, you know what I mean? This one's really pretty too. I mean, I think that these shimmers in here are gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. Are they indie level? No. But I think that Natasha Denona tries to make like wearable shades too. So that could have been it. I don't know. I don't really care that they're not multi-chrome. They're gorgeous shades, and especially this one right here. This like Scarab, it's called, shade is gorgeous. So much fun when I play with this palette. I don't regret buying it. I think it's really well done. And like I said, the mattes are phenomenal and I love it. I love this palette. I'm a fan. I'm keeping it. Okay, and then I have this one. This is the Mini Gold palette. I really love this one. I think this is super beautiful. I think it reminds me of like Christmas Eve for some reason. I don't know why, but I really, really love it. And I think it's really fantastic quality. Definitely keeping this one. And then this is the Mini Love. I like this a lot more than I thought I was going to. I was really surprised when I tried it at how much I love it. The mattes in here, these two mattes are great. There's no patchiness, very pigmented, easy to blend, and then the shimmers in here are just stunning. I love the eye look that you can make with this. It's just purple and pink are kind of my tones. I really like those colors, and I just think it looks so elegant and classy and beautiful. And it's really, if you're just needing something that's already laid out for you, this eye look is just right there for you, ready to go. You don't have to think about it. It always turns out beautiful. Really, really like this one. Was definitely pleasantly surprised at how much I really love this palette. All right, up next, we're going to talk about Melt Cosmetics. This is the Recently Deceased by Beetlejuice. And I am lucky enough that I have had all good experiences with Melt. So the palettes that I have bought from Melt, I have liked, and they were the good ones. I have heard that there are some palettes out there that are misses, but I have not had any. I don't necessarily feel drawn to all of Melt's palettes, and so the ones that I'm not drawn to, I just don't buy. I will skip over them. But the ones that I have, I truly love. This one I was so excited about. When they came out with the Beetlejuice collection, I about died because I am a huge, huge Beetlejuice fan. I watch Beetlejuice every year for Halloween and sometimes even when it's not Halloween. And I love it. I love Beetlejuice so, so much. Love this packaging. If you're a Beetlejuice fan, I don't know. This is just great. In my opinion, I bought the entire collection, by the way. But I really, truly love this palette. I think it's so much fun. The packaging is fun. The purples and the greens are fun. Now, Melt, not everybody loves their formula. First of all, their mattes are extremely pigmented, okay? And their shimmers can be quite messy. Like this one right here, see how crumbly that is? It's very crumbly, but look at how pigmented it is. So it's a payoff. It's super crumbly and super messy, but I mean, look at that, okay? So I'm okay with some messy shimmers if you're gonna give me, if it's gonna look like that on my eye. Once it's blended out, I mean, come on, look at that. I don't know how people don't like that formula. I don't get it because I love it. But if you do your face makeup first and then you use that shimmer, I can see how you'd be annoyed because it's pretty messy. I always do my eye makeup first, so it's not a big deal. I just clean up the fallout and move on. But yeah, I love that shimmer. I love that type of formula. It's very sticky feeling and it just, I mean, the payoff is just fantastic. But yeah, I really, really love this palette. I think purple and green together in an eye look is spectacular. I think it's so much fun. I would never get rid of this palette. And then the other one is the Waiting Room. This one threw me for a little bit of a loop because I didn't really know what to do with this color story, to be honest. I don't know. I kind of felt like, you know, grays and reds together. I didn't know what to do with that. But I'm so glad that I bought this palette because it is a lot of fun and I really do enjoy it. Again, this Juno shade right here, it's very sticky like the other one, but the payoff is so good. It's very messy. You're gonna wanna wet your brush so that it doesn't get all over the place, but come on, do you see that? I mean, and then I still have the swatch from the Marc Jacobs. What is that? Okay, these are what shimmers are supposed to look like. What is that, Marc Jacobs? What is that? I think the mattes are really good in here too. I think they're the best mattes in the world? No, but I think that they're really good and they're super pigmented. So if you like pigmented shadows, Melt Cosmetics formula is for you, definitely. I really love dark pigmented mattes, so it's exactly what I'm looking for. But if you're not someone who likes super bold eyeshadow looks and you don't know what to do with like too much pigment right away, then, you know, just be careful. You might want to very, very, very lightly dip your brush into the Melt Matte formula. But I love this palette and I'm super glad I got it. Okay, and then I have She's in Parties, and I did not think I was going to fall in love with this palette as much as I did. The packaging of this is so pretty. It reminds me of like old gothic romantic kind of like vampire vibes, like antique-ish looking. And then the color story is perfection in my opinion. I love these tones so much. I feel so beautiful when I wear these types of shades because this like purple, eggplant, berry, wine color-ish shadows I think looks really good with my skin tone and my brown eyes. And yeah, I love this eyeshadow palette. I think it's so beautiful. I love the names like Last Caress and Strange Love. This is Skeleton Kiss. Just very vampy. And I love vampy stuff. Really like this palette. Super good quality. And if these are your types of shades, then I highly recommend. And the last two melt palettes I have are the Vita and the Morte. And I had to get both of them because I was not about to have one without the other because they go together to make a complete skull. And I love the packaging of this. I love skulls and I love roses. So this pulled me in right away. And then cherry on top, when I saw the color story of the Morte palette, oh my gosh, look at this. Look at how beautiful this is. Just beautiful. Again, very sticky, very messy, but the shimmer color payoff is, I'm sorry, it's wonderful. Okay? Come on. How do you not like that? I really love it. I think the mattes in here are really great too. I just used this palette recently and I was just in love with it all over again. Love this color story. Definitely keeping this one. This you cannot get anymore. It is limited edition, unfortunately. I really wish they'd bring this back though because it's so good. And the Vita palette, beautiful as well. Yeah. Love this color story. This orange shimmer shade is to die for. This green shimmer shade is beautiful. Mattes are good. This is a really good quality palette as well. Really wish they would bring this one back too. It's super beautiful. Okay, next up we're going to talk about my Pat McGrath collection. And I just did a video recently where I ranked all of these. So if you're interested in seeing that, I will link it above. But this is my Mothership 5. This is Bronze Seduction. This palette is gorgeous. I love this palette so much. My favorite shade in here is this one. It's so pretty all over the lid, and it's Pat McGrath special shades are so beautiful in my opinion, and I really like it. I really do think that they're quite special. I love this palette. It's very neutral, but I feel like there's a lot you can do with it. By the way, I'm not getting rid of any of my Pat McGrath palettes. Pat McGrath is my favorite formula I have in my entire collection. I love Pat McGrath so much, just the brand in general. I just recently bought the blushes, by the way, so those are coming in the mail. I will be reviewing those when they get here. But yeah, I love this palette. Definitely not getting rid of it. Highly recommend. I recommend all the Mothership palettes. They're all fantastic. This one is Mothership 1. This is the Subliminal palette. Looks like this. It's super gorgeous. My two favorite shades are this one and of course this blue. So pretty, especially when you put them together. Oh, it's gorgeous. But yeah, this is a very cool tone palette. So if you're looking for a Pat McGrath palette and you're a cool tone person, I highly recommend this one. Fantastic quality. And then we have Mothership 3 Subversive. This one is my favorite color story out of all the Mothership palettes. I think this is so beautiful. I love the purples in here. I love the pink in here. This shade, and this shade are my absolute favorites. These two are special shades. As you can tell, they have that extra special like glittery shimmer to them. And then this one's just a regular shimmer, but it's still extremely beautiful. Love these shades. This one right here, this is a special shade as well. It's just a really beautiful topper, like inner corner. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love these. I'm gonna swatch this one too, because that's pretty intense. It's such a fun, ugh, I love that. It's like a goldish, grungy, greenish kind of shade. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, this is a 6-pan palette. This is the Platinum Bronze palette. I really like this palette. There are no special shades in here, but the quality of this palette is absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, if you're into these like neutral kind of colors, I think you'd really, really like this palette. I think it's beautiful and I'm keeping it. This is the Mothership Mega. This is the Celestial Divinity eyeshadow palette. And this one doesn't have any special shades in it, but it has a lot of really, really beautiful shimmers. I really do like this palette a lot. I'm going to start by saying that the shimmers in here are really pretty. I don't like that there's only 3 mattes. So this is a matte, this is a matte, and this is a matte. These 2 mattes are pretty dark, and then this one's like kind of like a mid-tone mauve-y color. You know, I have to dip into other palettes in order to use this one. And I don't really care for that just because I wish, you know, I can make an eye look out of these 3 mattes and a couple of the shimmers, but I don't want to do that every single time I use this palette. I just wish there were more mattes is the point I'm trying to make. I really, really wish there were more mattes in this palette and less shimmers, but you know what? It's still a really beautiful palette. I mean, this purple in here, look at that. I mean, I can't really complain too much because look how pretty that is. I really need to pull this out. I actually like to use this in collaboration with the Natasha Denona Trio Chrome palette because that one's mostly mattes. So I think the 2 of these, they have a lot of like complementary colors to each other in those palettes. So if you do have the Trio Chrome palette and you have this one, try mixing them together. I think that that's a lot of fun. But yeah, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous shimmer as well. I mean, I can't deny the shimmers are beautiful. I just, you know, my only complaint is I wish there were more mattes, that's all. But I do like this one, so I'm going to keep it. Okay, this is the Mothership 2. This is the Sublime palette. If you like green and gold, this is definitely the palette for you. This gold, to die for. This green, oh my gosh. These 2 together, I love that combination in an eye look. It's so gorgeous. This shade right here is super beautiful. It's kind of a more of like an inner corner highlight shade. It just looks phenomenal together in my opinion. And then this one is really, really pretty as well. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. Oh, these special shades are just so phenomenal in my opinion. And these mattes are really, really blendable and pigmented and they basically blend themselves out in my opinion. But yeah, I love, especially the green. I love that green. Look at how, oh, so pretty. I could just stare at it all day. I won't though. All right, and this is the Divine Rose 2 palette. I love this palette so, so much. I just did a giveaway for this palette. Congratulations to the winner. I got mine. Look at the fingerprints. I love the special edition like packaging, this pink packaging, but you can see all the fingerprints ever. That's the only downfall, I think. The palette looks like this. I love it. It's so, so beautiful. I did not get Divine Rose 1. I just felt like it was a little bit too neutral for me, but this one is so much fun, so colorful, beautiful. This makes a really good blush. This is my favorite shade in the palette. It's called Sextra Terrestrial. It's a multi-chrome. It shifts from like a green to a pink. And look at this. Look at that. Up next, we have Midnight Sun. Love the packaging on this as well. The color story in here is really beautiful. I think it's super unique, to be honest. I really love this green shade right here. It's just really unique in my opinion. And this shade, oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite. Look how sparkly that is. It is, oh my gosh. It's so beautiful all over the lid. Do you see that sparkle? Oh, stunning. This shade, this like orangey color. Yes, please. Oh, gorgeous. I love this palette. It's funny because when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know if I'm into that color story, but yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. This purple shade right here, another just stunner. Look at that. Yeah, this, I love this palette. Special shades are special, I'm telling you. Yeah, I really like this one. If you like this color story, I highly recommend. Definitely keeping it. Okay, and then I have this one, the Divine Rose Luxe Quad in Eternal Eden. Looks like this. I did a review of this palette. I do like this palette, okay? I like it, but I was a little disappointed because this shimmer shade right here swatches really, really beautifully, but on the eyes, it doesn't translate the same. It's not, I wouldn't call it lackluster by any means, but it's not this. So I'm not sure why it swatches so well, but then it doesn't look like that on the eye. If you see my review, I'll link that above. You'll see what I mean in my review. The mattes blend out really, really well and are super pigmented. And then this shade is, it's nice, but it's nothing special in my opinion. I like this quad. I'm going to keep it. I don't think it was worth the money though. To be honest, I wish there was a little bit more oomph to it, but it's okay. I'm not bashing on it, but you know, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I probably wouldn't have bought it. This is the Blitz Astral Quad in Nocturnal Nirvana. Now this is a quad that is all 4 special shades. I wanted this quad for a very long time, but I just never bought it. And my husband surprised me with it for Valentine's Day this year. So I've been wanting this for a really, really long time. And yeah, it's beautiful. I guess I'll show it to you. So like I said, I'm not usually a quad person and I'm not usually an all shimmer person, but I made an exception for this palette because these special shades are phenomenal. That, oh, look at that. Okay, do I really have to say anything or look at how metallic those are. Oh, love them. The purple, look at that purple. Oh, that just, that makes my heart so happy. I can't even tell you. And then there's the green. Beautiful. I think this is such a beautiful quad. These are some of my favorite shadows. I love green and purple together. I told you that already. Those are beautiful. My favorite color eyeshadow. I really love blue and I really like this gold color. So yeah, I definitely needed this quad. Highly recommend. Fantastic quality. Very metallic, very shimmery, just gorgeous. All right, guys, last brand I have to talk about is my Anastasia Beverly Hills collection, which I have quite a few palettes from them. I really like Anastasia Beverly Hills, but I don't know where they have been. They haven't really come out with any palettes lately. I really wish they would because I truly enjoy their formula. I was a huge fan of these big Norvina palettes. I know not everybody was, but I love these. This one is my favorite. It looks like this. It's very big, lots of options, super pigmented. Really, really love this one. I think it's super great for the fall. This is definitely fall in a palette, in my opinion. I just love the vibrancy of these shades, and I think they blend out really well. I have no issues with these palettes at all. I love them, so definitely keeping this one. I don't know if I'm going to be getting rid of any of my ABH palettes. Maybe. We'll see. But definitely not this one. This is probably my least favorite of the Norvina collection palettes. This is volume 4. It's very, very pretty, don't get me wrong. I think it's this shade right here. This shade is just a little lackluster for me. I was expecting something else. It is really pretty, don't get me wrong. That's like a really pretty light kind of ethereal shade. But I thought that this shade was going to be something else completely. It doesn't look that way in the pan, you know, it doesn't look that light in the pan. So I was just surprised. Yeah, I think this is a good palette. I'm going to keep it, but it's my least favorite out of the four. This one is super beautiful if you like greens and blues. I really love green and blue eyeshadow. I just love this palette so, so much. I really love this shimmer shade right here. I think that is really, really pretty. All over the lid, the green, like the limes in here, this yellow, this hot pink shade is super beautiful. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with this palette. Like I said, I know some people didn't like these big Norvina palettes, but I think they're great. I don't have any issues with the performance. I think the quality is really good. Look at all the options you have here. There's so many different eye looks you can do in this palette. I love it personally. Definitely keeping this one. This is the mini palette. This is the volume 2. This is the only mini one that I got. When I first bought it, it sat in my collection for a while untouched. I don't know why. I guess I just didn't know. I don't know why it sat for a while I didn't play with it for some reason. And I almost decluttered it, but then I was like, no, I really need to try this palette out. And I used it and I fell in love with it because this shimmer shade right here is just absolutely beautiful all over the lid. It's really intense actually. And the way that it, if you can see how it swatches, it's just gorgeous. I really love that shade. I just like this palette a lot. And yeah, like this yellow shade right here, it's kind of like powdery, but it just blends out perfectly. So it's very messy, and that might be why some people didn't like it. But after it blends, I mean, it's just gorgeous. I love that matte yellow shade, and these two colors together just look really beautiful on the eyes. So once I played with this palette, I was like, yeah, I really like it, so I'm definitely going to keep it. Okay, this is my Jaxbeautifulyou palette. This is such a beautiful palette. I really love it. I think the quality in here is phenomenal. I love this color story. Definitely going to keep this one. This is Carly Bible, and some people really didn't like this palette, but I do. And I know that the packaging on this kind of freaked some people out. I don't remember what that's called, when you're afraid of like little holes or whatever. I think it kind of freaked people out. I don't have that. I think it's kind of cute actually. I really like this palette. I am a fan. I think that these shimmers are really, really pretty. I think that's a beautiful shimmer. These two are pretty similar to each other though, and I don't really care for that. I really hate when brands do that, but whatever. Just really pretty shimmers in my opinion. This is really beautiful as well, all over the lid. I don't know. The mattes I feel like perform really well, so I'm not sure why some people didn't like this palette. I like it. I think it's beautiful. I'm keeping it. The Prism palette. This palette has been used and abused. It's been so loved. As you can see, the dips in here. I freaking love this palette. I know when it first came out, it wasn't the most well-received or popular palette. I think this is a palette that came out a little bit before its time. I think if this color story came out now, it'd be a little bit more received than when it first came out. I don't think people were ready for it yet, but I loved it, and I really loved this like lime green pop over here. I thought that was so fun. It was so unique for its time. It was just something different. ABH took a chance and they thought outside of the box and they just did something different, and I really, really appreciated it. I think the quality is really good. This shimmer shade right here is gorgeous. This shimmer shade is gorgeous. Yeah, I love it. I really like this palette to this day. Definitely never going to get rid of it. This is the Norvina, and this is such a beautiful, like soft, feminine, pinky purple palette. If you want a palette with a little bit of color, but you don't want it to be too intense, you want it just to be kind of light, this is definitely the palette for you. It is very beautiful. I think this is a good bridal palette for somebody who wants, you know, a little bit of color. They don't want to be too neutral, but they don't want to be over the top with color either. You can really tone it down and just make it really soft and beautiful. And yeah, and when I'm in the mood for like a springy, soft, feminine, you know, kind of toned down, colorful look, this is definitely the palette that I reach for. Keeping this one. This is my Soft Glam palette. I use this palette for bridal looks. I think it's a beautiful bridal palette. I think that's actually why it was made. I think it was intended for bridal makeup. and it's perfect. They nailed it, in my opinion. You can do so much with this. It's just a very beautiful warm tone neutral palette. When I'm in the mood for warm tone neutrals, I like to reach for this one a lot. So yeah, I don't get in the mood for warm tone neutrals too often, but I still think this is a great palette. I'm definitely keeping it. This is the Riviera palette. I really like this. It has a matte white, and the reason why there's I hit pan in it is because I use matte white in special effects looks a lot for like highlighting. But I still think this is a really good palette all around. I know it didn't get a ton of love. Some people didn't really like it. I think that the mattes in here are decent. I don't think they're the best mattes I've ever used, but they're not terrible. And I think you can get some really pretty looks out of it. That's a pretty shimmer. The shimmers in here are really gorgeous, in my opinion. So yeah, I just don't think, you know, you have to work with the mattes just a little tiny bit, but nothing so much that I feel like I'd want to declutter it. So I'm going to keep it. All right, this is the Alyssa Edwards palette. I was thinking about decluttering this because I never use it. However, I'm going to keep it because it has a matte white and a matte black, which I really need for special effects looks. So for that reason, I am going to keep it. It has a brown that I can use for shading. I think the quality of this palette is not ABH's best, but again, I don't think it's horrible. So yeah, I'm still going to keep this one. This palette, I would never declutter. It is very nostalgic for me. My husband surprised me with it for not this last Valentine's Day, but the Valentine's Day before that. He met me for lunch and he had it like in his coat pocket and he pulled it out. He knew I really wanted it. He stood in line and bought it for me at Sephora. It was the sweetest thing ever. Love the packaging of this. Very girly, very glittery. And I just really love this color story. This shade Barb right here is just so pretty. It's very soft, so I don't like to swatch it too much, but just look how beautiful that is. And then there's this one, which is like a hot pink shimmer. You have Leo, which is beautiful. These are just beautiful shades. There's two glitters in here, which not everybody loves. The mattes are beautiful. Yeah, I truly love this palette. I will keep this. I think this is probably my favorite ABH palette that I own, but definitely keeping it. All right, you guys, this is it. Last but not least, this is the volume, I believe this is the first one. Yep, this is the volume 1, and this is a purple and pink lover's dream. I think this is beautiful. Love the tones in here. Again, I'm a big fan of these palettes. This is so pretty. I don't know, I haven't used this in quite some time, but I'm getting inspired to pull this out because this just kind of seems like a springy, kind of summery kind of vibe to me. So I'll probably be using this very soon. Ooh, see, that's the shade I thought that other purple was going to be. This one right here, I thought it was going to be more like this. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right there. Look how pretty that is. Yeah, I'm using this palette next when I do my next eye look. But anyway, those are all of my palettes. I decluttered quite a few, so I know at the end there I wasn't really decluttering very many, but I'm happy with it. I think I did a good job. So anyway, that's it for my eyeshadow palette collection. Declutter. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this declutter, and I hope everybody is having an amazing day. This has been a long video. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!